can't receive today. Allow me to point and explain on how this committee was formed and what informed us to form it. After forming the government, the county government came to reality over huge pending bills to a tune of 1.6 billion to be paid. The county government resolved to create a task force to look into a pending bill and make recommendation on the eligible bills. The task force was commissioned about 3 months ago when I appointed the committee on pending bills, verification, and eligible pending bills, verification and resolutions through Kenya Gazette notice number 14024 of 2022. Today we are ready to receive the report on the status of pending bills. The county government of Kisii owes various contractors and suppliers for several years. That adds up to around 10 years. It's important to know that, as I said, this was not a witch hunt exercise, but a deliberate move by my administration to distinguish genuine pending bills from suspected dubious claims before we pay, so that the taxpayer gets value for the money. We also suspected some dubious double claims on similar projects, where a number of merchants seem to be claiming funds for goods not actually delivered, or service not rendered at all. The issue of a few favored contractors running the show at the expense of others was also significant, when collusion between staff and the contractors to fix bills and payment could not be ruled out either. All these factors and other considerations triggered the need for a comprehensive audit of all the pending bills, and we brought in the expertise to help us analyze the situation, which calls for recommendation for remedy, and that is why we're here today. The committee appointed was thoroughly constituted of experienced expertise drawn from various professional bodies. The members include, allow me when I read your name, you just stand, so that people can see what kind of people were constituted in this team. The chairman is the QS Nyakundi, a fellow Chartered Institute Habilitators, registered quantity surveyor. This is the chairman. Number 2, Engineer Ilali Nyanga, fellow with the Institute of Engineers of Kenya and a consulting engineer. This engineer is even invited for parliamentary sittings and constituents in this county. Engineer Dr. Damaris Oya, member of the Institute of Engineers of Kenya and professional engineer. Engineer Nyanga Damaris Oya. CPA James Angawa, member of ISPAC. Council George Morara, member of Law Society of Kenya. Mr. Martin Papa, established document journalist and a member of the Fingerprint Forensic and Biometric Science Professional Association of Kenya. Is here. CPA Nicodemus Caroli, member of ISPAC. I don't know what he's doing. Mr. Victor Magara, licensed member of Kenya Institute of Supply Management. That were the commissioners who were carrying out this exercise. Therefore, no doubt, the team we have is a capable team. The report we'll get will appreciate the work they have put in place. The committee was tasked to scrutinize, analyze, verify all existing stocks of Kisii County pending bills, making appropriate recommendation for payment or otherwise. In carrying out the exercise, the committee held a series of sittings at ATC, where every affected contractor, supplier, was given an opportunity to appear, defend their claims. For cases regarding projects, the committee visited and inspected the works done. This exercise was necessary to help us evaluate, understand the status of the county pending bills, said to a tune of 1.6 billion Kenya shillings, incurred between 2013, 2014, 2021, 2022 financial years, so that we can plan to pay all illegal pending bills. But we believe what we owe is much less than the quoted figures we were going to get. But then, the delay cost due to the verification exercise is for the common good. For instance, will it be fair to genuine contractors and the genuine public if we pay unscrupulous dealers for supplying the so-called air? Would it be correct? No. As such, after taking over government in August last year, it came to our notice that the purported total sum of pending bills was questionable, and for avoidance of doubt, we labored to establish the eligible of the pending bills. I sincerely bear with the contractors who are indeed our partners and the key stakeholders in development and service delivery for the delayed cost in meeting our obligation to pay you. Another anomaly noted was the possibility of inflation of the costs of projects through wicked bills quantities aimed and defrauding public fund. As you are aware, we are being admonished as a county for lagging behind in clearing the said pending bills as per advice by the control of budget to all our counties and national government agencies. And accordingly to the big hill-motivated naysayers, this has caused a delay in absorption of development budget. But as you know, it's only 2 weeks ago that our supplementary budget was approved, which means that still we couldn't undertake development as earlier expected. Without the approval budget of 2022-2023 financial year, so shame could have not been done. Having said that, I must appreciate that the Committee on Pending Bills verification has worked with speed, despite the fact that we have had to extend their durations. These people, they have been working overnight. They have not slept. They had to relocate from where Kisii again because of security. But I'm happy that you've done as good when you're going to give us that report. I hope that what is contained in the report will help us address the issue raised and possibly help us separate chaff from the wheat in order to pay all eligible pending bills while taking to task those we find questionable. I promise the contractors whose claims are given a clean bill of health that they will receive what is due to them on a first incurred, first out basis. With those many remarks, allow me to call upon the chairman of the pending bill committee or task force to give us the report. I'm told he will give me, but then he'll give us first of the lines. Karibu, tafadhali, pia sisi dawa leo.
Good afternoon. I stand here to represent the committee that was constituted by His Excellency the Governor in November. As His Excellency has mentioned, our team comprised of fully qualified accountants, engineers, lawyers, and myself as a quantity surveyor. We started by sitting at the ATC. We reviewed the documents that were given to us. Then we invited the officers for discussion with us. Some of you came, we asked very difficult questions. Thereafter, we visited the sites which could be visited. We went around the whole county. We wanted to do sampling, like audits are normally done, but His Excellency was very tough. He said we must go to every road and every building which had been certified for payment. It was not easy because, Your Excellency, you won the report yesterday and we have to go all over. But we tried. Today, we are ready with our report. But I'd like to make a few observations which we came across. The first one, Your Excellency, is that contractors in this county, they get harassed in the county offices. When they come to be given the sites, they have to give money. When they come for inspection, they have to give money. The saddest part of this is that a chief officer wrote a letter to the resident engineers directing that no site can be inspected unless the contractor has paid the money up front. Your Excellency, this was very sad for us to note that a chief officer who is an accounting officer can give such a directive in writing. We shall be sharing with you a copy of that letter. Number two, we encountered payments which predates the 2010 Constitution. In other words, these payments have delayed for more than 10 years. We also came across contractors who have been using government machinery to do the roads without, they pay but they are not given a receipt. And contractors were willing to come forward to make those statements. Number four, we noted irregularities in tendering, where related companies could appear on the tender list, they are evaluated and they are awarded. We also noted that some works were being awarded without any form of tendering. One case we have, somebody was given some work for doing a document, some documentation, and the letter of award read like this, that following your request, we are pleased to award you this contract. It is very, very sad. Another sad case, Your Honor, we came across is a contractor who gave us pictures of a road, of some work he had done, and the photos he submitted, they showed prisoners who are being supervised by warden in uniform. So we don't know whether he had paid the prisoners to come and do the work for him so that he can clear from the county. Your Excellency, we also noted where the county is being shortchanged on the specifications. Very high specifications are put in the documents. When the work is done, inferior materials are used. Your Excellency, we also came across where 100% of the contract sum is certified for payment, but when we went to site, the work is not complete. There are very many examples of this. We went to Manyansu village vocational training center, has been certified as 100% done, yet it doesn't have windows, doesn't even have doors. We went to Isanta Primary School ECD, it doesn't even have a roof, but it has been certified as 100% done. You go to Yagavi village vocational training center, same thing. We go to Kiamasi Primary School, same thing, and many other places. Your Excellency, it is very sad that people who have been entrusted, who have been privileged to work for the county, can go around certifying what doesn't exist. Your Excellency, we also came across projects undertaken without any budgetary provisions. Any project in the county starts with the requisition. And in the requisition, they are meant to mark the budget. We have requisitions in the files which have not been signed by the accountant in charge of the board group. Your Excellency, this puts the contractors at risk because they have no way of verifying in the county offices that there is a budgeted provision. So when they are given an award, they are given an award for work which is not budgeted for. That is exposing the contractors to unnecessary risks. Your Excellency, we also came across documents which are forged. An example is where a chief officer assigned for one contract, and then some people in the offices, they take the part which has been signed by the chief officer, they photocopy as many as 15 copies, and give out to contractors. They give out to contractors who sign a contract on a photocopy. We were advised by our lawyers that that is unlawful. We have also witnessed abdication of duty by the chief officers, especially because they are supposed to ensure that the contracts have been administered correctly. But you find that the chief officer resigns from the project as soon as the award letter is given out. But if you read the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, the chief officer is meant to constitute an inspection team once the project is completed. There is not a single project where we had the inspectors appointed by the chief officer. And what happened is that all the inspections which are done, they were done by people who are self-appointed. Perhaps we don't know the reasons for that, but we want to be suspicious. Your Excellency, we noted massive disregard of the provisions of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act with regard to tendering, with regard to project supervision, with regard to inspection and certification. We have made those observations in the detailed report. Having said this, what happens? What were we to do? We were given bills amounting to 1.69 billion to check. And we did not know even where to begin. We also met the county assembly members, it was honorable members, and this is what I did mention. You honored our request and we went to the Kisii. We got a lot of intelligent information from the leaders. But even having done a lot of scrutiny and soul searching, Your Excellency, this committee had to go through every file up to 5 times. And in the end, we could only come up with bills worth 235 million shillings, which can be paid outrightly without any queries or being questioned by anybody. So, Your Excellency, after careful scrutiny, some files we had to do 5 times. This committee could only come up with bills which are properly due at 235 million shillings. And even those bills, there are some small housekeeping which will have to be done before the payment is done. For example, where mobile phones have been bought for staff or laptops which appear to be procured every year, the auditors need to go back to the offices, conduct an audit, confirm that those laptops and those phones are still within the county before the payment is released. Your Excellency, we also came across work which had been done by contractors, but due to negligence of one reason or another, the certification and documentation was not complete. We were unable to recommend those for payment. However, we valued them at about 130 million shillings. If the right procedures are followed or the defects are rectified, the contractors will be paid. One thing we noted when we were going around is that our consultants, our engineers, and other people, they would go to the site maybe twice. The day they give a handover the site, and the day they come to do inspection for payment. That means that there was no supervision when the work was being done. And as a result, we noted a number of places where the workmanship is extremely poor, and yet recommendations for payments are being done. This is with a lot of respect to my colleagues in the industry but the truth must be spoken. Your Excellency, we came up with the last list of items or bills which could not be paid, which amount to 1.2 billion, and these ones could not be paid because, one, many of them did not have a single document to show that they were contracted by the county, other than an award letter which can be written anywhere on the street. Number two, many of them could not even demonstrate to the committee that they had actually done the work. They told us they used the equipment. We asked them, can you show us receipts? Do you own the equipment? They say no. Did you hire the equipment? They say yes. Show us any receipts to prove that you hired the equipment with the roads they don't have, and yet they want to be paid. The Excellency, we noted where there is purported inspection of the work, and yet the people did not go to site to do the inspection. Some of the officers whom we spoke to, they actually confessed that they never went to site, and they even wrote statements to withdraw their signatures from that inspection. What that means is that the documents which are being used to make payments are fraudulent. And Your Excellency, we want to urge you, we do not want to go into the details because of prejudice, the people and the investigations. We urge you to institute forensic audit, and especially of these bills which have not been able to pass, and those ones who might be found to have been colluding with our officers, necessary actions should be taken. We want to say this, that from now on forth, we recommend that chief officers become more serious with their work, the professional colleagues be more serious with certification, and when it comes to appointment of people to the either evaluation committee or supervision or inspection, it should be done according to the law on a rotational basis, not people being friends being appointed to inspect from January to December, from year to year, and they just do it in the office. Finally, Your Excellency, this business of contractors being asked to pay before their work has been inspected, we trust that you will ensure that this comes to an end, and contractors should be able to do any business that can walk into a supermarket, buy anything, and walk away without breaking. That will prosper our county. One other reason why some of the bills could not go through is because of exaggerated quantities. We inspected, we did a quick check of those quantities, including studying the racing track here. The quantities that are in the account are exaggerated. And we said that should not be allowed to happen. The professionals who are concerned could be given an opportunity to go back and rectify their mistakes and come back to the county to you and tell you that to rectify their mistakes so that new payments are made. Your Excellency, other details of our findings are a bit sensitive. We will not be able to air them here, but they are in our reports for your perusal. And with those very remarks, I want to beg that you allow me to present the report. It is sealed, you cannot open it here, but it is safe, so you can open it at home. Yes, the office. People may have certified some things because of carelessness which was being done. We request that when you find these officers mentioned in our report, we are people lenient with them, but just warn them.
Sasa ndugu wananchi, gavana wetu anapokea ripoti rasmi kutoka kwa chombo kazi ambaye alipatia kazi yeye mwenyewe kuhusu masuala ya development katika kaunti yetu ya Kisii. Tafadhali tuwapigie makofi maofisa hawa ambao wamefanya kazi nzuri, wamepitia magumu, lakini mwisho wameleta ripoti kamili. Makofi tafadhali.
Your Excellency, the report is 200 pages. I request that those who want to see this afternoon to give me a break so that you can read it. Thank you.
Asante sana mwenyekiti.
Hapa ni nini imefanyika ili mara stadi.
Your Excellency, we made a site visit to Marani Stadium. We met inhabitants, the locals at Marani.
Kwa assembly na jeshi. Lakini imekuwa kwamba yote ilipwe. Endelea. Hii ni gani?
Not only vocational training center. project funded by the Kisii County government. But it is not also complete. It's complete. And part of it has not been there, according to the specification and the quantities, has not been met to the procurement standards.
Next.
Nakenge, ECD. That is just a quarter of the work done, but it is certified as 100%. Vitare was a contract granted to one contractor to do 3 different projects, but only Vitare is completed. The other 2 have not been done even from scratch, but it is certified as 100%. The Anaward project is not also meeting the standards of what is provided for in the project file. Bonchari.
In Bonchari, yes.
Nyabinyinyi water gravity scheme in Sensi Ward. That is the state of the project. The quantities that are provided for are enormous, but you can see the project. The percentage is 100%. It's a water project, 100%. It's supposed to be paid. It's the same.
It's the same.
It's the same gravity. Water goes up and then it comes down.
Okay. In Bomachoge Church, rehabilitation of Biokindo water supply. It was what? So the pipe work extension, the water treatment.
Yes, Your Excellency, sir. It was supposed to be pipe network, and the water use is not complete.
All right.
They are not metered, and the tank is not complete.
Lakini wameandika wamemaliza.
Yeah.
Maji iko vile tunaiona. Wale mko kule Bomachoge, wewe mnaona Borabu, wewe mnaona. Twende. Hii ni gani? Milk cooler plant Kigati. Jaribani. Wale mko Jaribani Kigati.
Okay, this one is complete. It was installation of machines and power by KPLC. The machines are installed, but they have not been tested and commissioned. And the KPLC power, they drew a cable from a distance, so it's dangerous actually. So the facility cannot operate.
Hiyo iko kule Jaribani. Ngine? Sasa tukua kidogo ndio wakati tumalizie.